Hello, folks, and welcome to another fine limited edition of When DCC Sound Installs Go Wrong. I'm your host, Alco Buff, and, well, this is not really a new show. It's just, well, showing you how projects can tend to go south and how they, well, tend to happen. Anywho, here's the deal behind this engine. I bought this back a couple of years ago off the internet. I was told the engines were actually just DCC ready, just DCC equipped, I should say. They're not. They were not supposed to have any kind of hardware in them. No big deal. Just good part source engines. I thought. And as it turns out, I got a little bit more than what I bargained for. As you can probably guess already, that is not just a DCC ready board. Just to let you know, this is. I guess it should before I go any further. This is an RS3, an Athearn RS3, much like this guy over here, number 1552. Which I'll just show briefly here. Central New Jersey line. That's actually my first one. Essentially, what happened here is a case of a user getting very dedicated and very enthusiastic, and unfortunately not being able to finish it. And I don't criticize this person, whoever owned this before me. This is a Rio Grande RS3, I should say, before I go any further. Understandably, the guy kind of ran out of steam on this, and I can't say I blame him because I probably would too and I had all these problems. Anywho, let's go through and see what I wound up with here. This engine, as you see, is insulated on the top, which is good. It has, again, the sound system. If you look inside here, on the top right here, there's actually a place where the speaker box is. That's actually the cab window. Good place to put it. And the guy got it all wired up. He did a great job with it. Drilled the wires through, as you can see on the back. Kind of tricky to see. And really did a great job overall of putting this thing together. The only problem is, well, as many people know with these Athearns, with all this extensive wiring, it doesn't fit. This, rather, if I can get it closer, this essentially doesn't fit, period. This particular shell sat a few inches above. So the guy got really desperate, and I really feel bad for this guy, whoever this was. He really did a lot of work on this. He dremeled off the latches, as you see on the bottom here. All the sort of clips are taken out and cut out to make this thing fit, and it still didn't go down. And the guy probably figured there was just something holding it back. What he didn't realize is that this is how far it went down. That's as far as it fits because of all the wires. And this is actually how it showed up when I got it. And the reason why this is that it didn't fit down right has nothing to do with the clips holding it back. It had to do with the fact that there was just no space in these to work with. There's absolutely no clearance between the top of this frame right here, between the top of the hood and the bottom of the hood. And the end result of that, you get a very tight to work with space that you really can't do very much with. That's one of the reasons I believe that MRC decided to release its DCC and sound ready boards for these particular engines. Anywho, going further on this unit, this has the quantum sound system on it. It's not the older one that sounds like a GP38, not the one that where in fact it's still being used now with the RSD-15s, where they just basically took the sound of an engine idling and sped it up to make it sound like an engine accelerating. This has got some kind of weird, funky sound from a British engine, I think it is, in it. They're trying to simulate an Alco engine. That's what they do market it. That's what MRC did. That's what I should say. Quantum did market it as, and it sounds okay. And I would have probably kept it if this looked okay, but it doesn't. Anywho, big surprise that I wound up with this because again, this was supposed to have just been a hardwired DCC decoder, which it's a little bit more than that. Nice plus. I'm really not complaining. It's too bad the engine is just so badly wrecked. This is essentially going to be a part source for my other engines. I've already taken the front truck off, as we see over here. The rear truck is missing its wheels. Whatever is left of it still exists. I'm basically going to be stripping whatever's left of this down for parts because it's just so far gone. It's unfortunate. My advice to everyone else is to, before you modify something like this, and I don't mean to be arrogant or anything on this, but please check the forums. Ask anyone if they had experience modifying it. You don't want to get yourself stuck against the wall like this poor gentleman did. At any rate, I'd gotten both of these engines for what the sounds, I won't say how much, but I'll say this, I could probably buy the sound system for what I bought the two engines for. There's a sister to this, which I have sitting actually over here in the box along with the other parts. I don't know what happened to the shell for this, I'm going to have to find it. This one also was sold to me by the same user. And this is pretty rough too, although this will probably be salvageable. I'm tempted to rebuild this because I like the Rio Grande paint scheme. I'll show this one here. That's what it looks like. I'll have to find the shell for that one and maybe rebuild it. At any rate, this one actually had some pluses on it too, I should point out. This one came with a lens decoder. If I can find thing here. Where did I put that? I hope I didn't lose it. See, where did I put? Ah, here it is. I put it in a plastic bag. This is a lens decoder in there. It's kind of hard to make out. I don't want to take it out and short it out on myself and jinx it. That's a pretty nice find just by itself. That was a good thing. This engine, again, just like the other one, has its chassis isolated. It still has both of its trucks. I never stripped this one down. Well, actually, it's missing its wheels. But what I could easily return this to service, and I think I will now, because it's just a nice paint scheme, a nice looking engine. I'm probably going to go ahead and find the railings. I have the railings someplace for it. I just packed them away because I was stripping it down. In fact, actually, here are the railings here. I'll probably just use this one off the other engine I had. I think these are from that. Actually, no, this looks like it's from a different engine. Anywho, I'm going to probably go through and rebuild this one. Anyway, it just goes to show you what happens when you get these project engines. And don't be afraid to buy them, because in this case, even though I'm only going to be able to save one, I got a really nice sound system out of it, which I'm not going to be able to buy for the price that it really goes for. I got out of this other engine behind here, I should say. And on top of that, I got another engine I can actually rebuild. So overall, not the worst deal in the world on all of this. And it should really make for some great parts, if not at least one great locomotive.